It's Miss Garcia with a quick review on Texas Revolution. So, we know that Texas was part of the country of Mexico. Mexico actually stretched all the way through California, what is today Nevada, of course, the southwestern region. Now, when Mexico became its own country after their war for independence against Spain, they needed to populate this area that is today Texas. And they did that by inviting Americans in. They invited Americans with free land. They said, hey, Americans, we'll give you a ton of free land if you follow these simple rules. And Americans, loving free land, I mean, who doesn't, of course, rushed over to Mexico. And they said, yes, we will follow your rules. Give us some land. So these are the rules that Mexico put on these Americans. They said, Americans, we will give you this free land if you, one, obey Mexican laws, two, don't have slaves because Mexico was attempting to outlaw slavery at the time. You have to become Catholic and you have to learn Spanish. And Americans said, yes, of course we will do those things. Give us that land. But when those Americans got that free Mexican land, they started not following these rules. They brought over slaves. They never bothered speaking Spanish. They didn't bother becoming Catholic. And so Mexico became very upset because these American immigrants, these Americans were just breaking laws. In fact, it got to be so bad that by 1830, Mexico said, no more Americans. Americans are no longer allowed into Mexico. We gave them all this free land. They said they would follow our rules, and they're not. They're criminals. These American immigrants are not following our rules. And so this kind of began the Texas Revolution. So General Santa Anna, who was a very famous general from the War for Independence, he started keeping an extra close eye on those Americans in Texas. In fact, he actually went over there because in 1835, these Americans living in Texas started gathering weapons. They started gathering guns, they started gathering ammunition, and of course, a really big cannon. In fact, Mexico said, you got to get rid of that cannon. We don't really trust you with these weapons. And their response was to create a flag that says, come and take it. If you want us to get rid of our cannon, come over here and take it from us. Whew, it's getting feisty, right? So thus begins the war for Texan independence. There are a lot of different battles, but I want to focus just on two. Before we get there, though, the Texas Revolution kind of began very similar to the American Revolution. When America started breaking up with England, we wrote the Declaration of Independence saying, hey, we're our own country, we're free. Texas did a very similar thing. They created their own government. Mexico, of course, said, nope, you're not free. What are you talking about? But Texans said, yeah, we're free. We're our own country. We're going to have slaves. This is what we want. We have really big battles like the battle at the Alamo. You might have heard of this before. Santa Anna and his Mexican troops completely defeated Americans. In fact, they defeated Americans so badly that for the rest of the war, Texans will shout, remember the Alamo. Remember how badly we lost? Don't let us lose like that again. Santa Anna and Mexico won the Battle at the Alamo. However, the Battle of San Jacinto is probably the most vital battle in this war for independence. At the Battle of San Jacinto, Texans attack General Santa Anna and his troops. In fact, they attack, kidnap, and force General Santa Anna to sign off independence of Texas. Santa Anna does it. There's a lot of stories about Santa Anna. We can talk about him later, but he signs over Texas, basically. He basically says, okay, you want to be free? Fine. I'm going to sign it off. Just don't kill me. Anyway, that is what leads to really the end of the Texan Revolution, and it's what allows Texan independence. Sam Houston became a hero, and he became the president of this new country called the Republic of Texas. Stephen F. Austin becomes Secretary of State. All these names should sound familiar. And Texas, now being run by guys who used to be part of America, they started inviting more Americans over. And in this new country, there was there was slavery, Americans brought with them a lot of slaves. And we have this new republic. I hope this helped. I hope this was a good review. Let me know if you need anything else.